stick around, get along with you. Hello,
Pues estamos aquí con Dave Carroll, que él es un músico, cantante y aquí conferencista, que se hizo famoso con su canción de United Breaks Guitars. You are famous now, Dave.
In some places, yes.
Yes. Well, in YouTube, you are the most famous.
Yes.
You are a singer,
Yes.
musician. So, what happened that you are now doing a talk in this kind of conference?
Well, I am a singer. I'm a songwriter. I'm from Canada, and I was flying to Nebraska with United Airlines, and that was in March 31st of 2008. And we landed in Chicago, and there was a woman that was sitting across from me, and she looked out the window and she said, "Oh my God, they're throwing guitars outside." And it turned out that my Taylor guitar, an acoustic guitar that I played, got broken, and I tried to get United to take responsibility, and they wouldn't. So I made a promise that I would write 3 songs and make 3 videos about my experience with them, and I would put it on YouTube, and my goal was to get 1 million hits in 1 year with all 3 videos combined. And I put the first video up on July 6th of 2009, and 4 days later I had 1 million hits. And today that video is sitting at, I think, nearly 12 million hits, and 150 million people in the world now have heard that story.
And what happened with the airline? Why didn't they respond? What was the answer?
I called all over. So I called India, I called Chicago and New York, and I talked to everybody they told me to talk to. And none of the customer service representatives I spoke to were empowered to do anything. They all said, "There's nothing I can do, but I'll give you this number." And it kept going like that. And at the end, a customer service rep, her name is Miss Earlwig from Chicago, and she said, "I didn't open a claim within 24 hours, so they weren't responsible. They had a policy. The policy was, I didn't open a claim within 24 hours, so they didn't have to pay for the guitar."
What was your feeling about all this? How do you feel?
Oh, I was very frustrated. I think you've probably know people that have had bad airline stories, and I have the same. And when you're not treated with respect, or you're treated like you don't matter, it doesn't make you feel good. You feel angry and frustrated, and so I had all those feelings too. And I felt much better when I decided to take my power back and to do something about it. And from that point on, I stopped being angry. I started laughing at the situation. As soon as I started writing my songs, I felt the humor was very good for it. I felt very good about it, and it changed everything. And so today, I'm not angry at United anymore. It's created new opportunities for me. I do speaking around the world about customer service now, and I write songs for other people, and I've written a book that comes out, and so my life has gotten much more interesting. So if anything, I thank them.
And after the video go to YouTube, what happened with the airline? Did they contact you?
They did. When I promised I would do it, that was in November of 2008. The first video didn't go up until July of 2009, and they promised they would never call. And 2 days after the video went viral, they called, and they offered me compensation, the same compensation that I had asked for, and some money. And I said, "No, thank you." I said, we stopped talking about compensation back then. You promised that wouldn't happen. So my videos aren't trying to get something from you. They're a response. It's my response to do something when you said you wouldn't. So all 3 videos are going to come out, I told them, and I will tell my story 3 times. And in the last song, I haven't written that yet. I said, you have the possibility to share something good that you're going to do, and if you have something good to tell me, I will write it in my 3rd song. And they never did. So I wrote all 3 songs, and all 3 videos are now on YouTube.
That's interesting. And how is now you are doing talkings and knowing different countries doing this type of this conference? What's your feeling now?
I feel very grateful that this has happened to me, because I think my story is very important, and it's important because it shows that every customer in the world has a voice, and in the age of social media it shows that all of our voices are important, and that companies have to take notice of this and make sure that they don't ignore any customer, because any one customer can affect their brand in a bad way.
And what is your feeling about the enterprise? Do you think they are taking care of now of the voice of the customer? How is
United
the-
Airlines or
No,
all companies?
All companies. I mean, yeah. Let's forget about United.
Yeah. Okay. So I think today all companies are realizing that social media is very important to their business, but even still, there are many companies that aren't doing enough about it. And part of the reason they're not is because I think they're afraid of social media because they don't understand it. They see social media as what can happen to their brand if people like me write about them. But the truth is that if companies see social media as a potential to do better business, if they embrace social media, it's a very good thing for them, and it's a way to meet their customers, understand what they want, help them, and get more sales. Take a customer that no longer wants to shop with you and turn them back into your best friend, and that's what social media can do. So there are many companies that have a long way to go, and some that are doing better.
And how can the companies be your best friend?
Well, if my guitar was broken by an airline, and they first of all said I'm sorry, and they contacted me and said, how would you like this to be fixed? And if I said either cash or fix it, and they said we'll do what you'd like, and as long as you're happy, we're happy. Then my response would be, I'll fly with you again because you regretted the accident, because I would see it as an accident, and I would fly with them again to support them. And it's all about caring. Companies need to care more.
You were talking about the power of the customer,
Yeah.
which is the power of this era, of these times. And how has this changed? I mean, in the last years, how
Well, like I said, the social media has allowed customers to have a voice now. And in the past, if a company gave bad customer service, one customer would tell maybe 14, 15 friends, and they would just ignore it and wait for it to go away. But in my case, I told the story only twice. I told my Facebook friends, and I told the people in my Outlook Express email. I asked twice to watch it. And today, nearly 12 million people have seen the first one. So it shows that companies really have to be aware that one customer can share their story with a lot of people.
How do you see the future in this customer power? How is going to be?
I think companies will continue to have to deliver what the customer wants. I think there will be the ability to understand what customers want more, and the power will stay forever, I think, with the customer now. But it's not a bad thing for companies. It means that they will be able to really understand what they want. And if you're a company, wouldn't you like to know that your products you're building are going to serve people rather than hope for the best? And so it's a good thing. Social media is very good for customers, and they should have the power. They have the money. They're the ones who are buying the things. They should have the choice in what they get.
Do you know a contact center? I mean, physically?
Do I what?
Know a contact center?
I'm
The
not sure.
location of a contact center?
Of anyone?
Yeah.
Um,
Do you know? I mean,
yeah. Oh,
have
well,
you been in one?
my wife actually works for the phone company in Halifax, and she's the manager of the customer contact center for escalations, for the top most serious complaints for the vice presidents and above. And they take it very seriously. And I actually tweeted something bad about the phone company once, and I got in a lot of trouble because her boss said, "Is this Dave Carroll the same Dave Carroll you're married to?" And they told her, "Don't do that again." So.
No, now I understand you had a coach to do your
My wife is the reason that I never got angry at the customer service reps, because she was always quick to tell me, don't get mad at the customer service rep, they're only following the rules. And so it was good advice.
What do you think about this, following the rules?
For who? For me? For me to follow?
I mean, you as a customer.
Oh, I don't like following the rules. I always think outside the box, and companies have policies to make their life easier. It doesn't make the customer's life easier sometimes. And that's why we got into this trouble with United, because they had policies where they didn't not believe what I said was true. They just had a policy that said, I didn't open a claim within 24 hours, so that means they're not responsible. And to me, I find that ridiculous. And companies that want to live on their policies are living on borrowed time, I think.
Yeah, because this is precisely one fact that is always in the to follow a script or need to follow a policy so close.
Yeah,
that
you're right.
They even feel as a person.
Yeah. And I think contact centers have people that, as you say, they're following a script and they have only maybe 4 answers for customers. But what if you fall outside of that? What if you're the 5th answer? Then what do you do? And it seems like some companies just they haven't thought outside to figure that out yet. And so that's why people like me have thought outside the box and found ways to get the message through.
Is it your first time in Mexico?
First time in Mexico City, about 20 years ago on vacation, I came to Acapulco. And that's why, have you seen the first video?
Yes.
Yeah, and they have the mariachi guys with sombreros.
Yes.
People asked, some people were offended at first because they thought I was making fun of Mexicans. And it wasn't. It was because the harmonies in the background sounded to me like mariachi harmonies. And my favorite Elvis movie, Elvis Presley, is Fun in Acapulco. And he had mariachi singers singing behind him, so I said I want mariachi singers behind me. So Acapulco influenced that video.
I could stay